Manual pressing. This is a term that's thrown about by myself, other YouTube content creators, and pro players alike. It's something that's said so often, yet never really defined as to what it specifically is and consists of. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about what I define as a manual press, how to do it, and also touch on what an auto press is as well, just to try and give you guys a bit more clarity between the two. Let's get into it. At the heart of any good manual press are the tactics behind it, and we're specifically going to be looking at the defensive style and the depth, because these are the two factors within your custom tactics that are going to determine whether your team is auto pressing or formatted in a way for you to be able to manually press. Where these defensive styles are concerned, you've got pressure on heavy touch, press after possession loss, and constant pressure. These are like your three gears of auto press. Pressure on heavy touch being sort of the first gear, after possession loss being the second, and then constant pressure being the third and most drastic. You've also got drop back, that's the opposite to a press, you want to completely ignore that one. As far as manual pressing goes, balanced is the best option because it puts the kind of control in your hands. The AI is not really going to be doing too much for you. Where the depth is concerned, most people consider 71 plus depth like the auto press. That's what people think of when they think of an auto press, because at 71 depth, you get automatic offside traps. The AI sort of press is really noticeable. However, a lot of people don't know that actually at 50 depth or higher, you actually do get an auto press. So anywhere between 50 and 70 depth does still have an auto press. This is the sweet spot for manually pressing. Even though it technically is the AI doing it, it really isn't noticeable like it is at 71 or higher. Between 50 and 70, it just formats your team in a way where it enables you to press if you want to. Summarising the tactics, I recommend running balance on the defensive style, and then for the depth, experiment between 50 and 70, but I personally find 60 to be absolutely spot on. Before I jump into showing you guys the actual in-game mechanics that you need to be doing on your controller, I just wanted to quickly show you guys my button configuration because I don't use the standard default buttons. So I use contain as my R1, circle as my teammate contain, and X as my stand tackle. No specific reason for this. I think when they edited the defending buttons back in FIFA 12 or something, I just basically reverted it back to what made sense based on what I was used to, so that's why they're different. There's no specific advantage in this game to why I have them like this. It's purely as a heads up, because if you see my button overlay in game and I'm pressing things that are different to what you think of as like second man contain or tackle, that is why I do have my own button configuration. I'm just going to jump into this skill game now with you guys, and the first mechanic I'm going to show you is the teammate contain. So this is where you guys, if you're on the default button configuration, you hold R1 and you track the most dangerous option you think the AI is going to pass to, just like that. Meanwhile, while you're holding that circle and cutting off the option, what the AI does is press the ball carrier. So the AI is forcing your opponent to make a decision quick. Meanwhile, you're cutting off their option with the person you're controlling. I'll quickly show you another one. Once again, we're going to teammate contain, always cut off the most dangerous option with the person we're controlling, trying to give them as little room to maneuver with as possible. So there, you can see the AI is pushing the ball carrier. We're trying to cut off the passing options. And there we go. Once again, we get the ball back. The next mechanic is partial team press. This is where you double tap R1, but the second time you hold it. So it's tap, hold. And what this does is basically the opposite. You're basically now going to pressure the ball carrier, and the AI will mark off the other options just like that. I actually think this is severely underused in this game because it's not just one other person cutting off the options. You're pressing the ball carrier, but you can get 2, 3, 4 other players cutting off all the other passing options. And it's particularly useful when someone gets down the byline and they've got options to cut it back. By doing this double tap, you can cut off multiple options at the same time. To show you guys that once again, we're going to pressure the ball carrier, double tap circle, or R1 in your guys' case if you're on the default. And once again, we've won the ball back. I'd be careful about overusing it because sometimes they will almost run past the ball carrier, the AI, to kind of cut off a passing option that's like not really even dangerous. So you've got to pick your moments, and it's definitely good when you really feel like you've been opened up, because it kind of gets the AI to recoup and cut off multiple options for you. So it will take a little bit of getting used to that one, because like I say, sometimes they do just mark odd passes, but once you get a feel for it, you'll know when to do it and when to use the normal teammate contain. The next mechanic I'm going to show you guys is team press. To activate this, you press down on your D-pad and then left on your D-pad. Bear in mind the opponent has to be on the ball for you to activate this, so let's just boot this ball back to the opponent, down on the D-pad, left on the D-pad, and from here you're going to see your team throw numbers at the opponent. Once they get into this sort of position, I'd recommend turning it off by just going down on the D-pad, left on the D-pad again. Now we've won this ball back, let's just boot it back to them. We'll do another team press, if I can give them the ball back. I can't get rid of it here. There we go. Right, so team pressing them once again. And like you say, you'll see a lot of pressure. It is literally like turning on constant pressure in-game. Lots of numbers pressing the opponent here, and we win the ball back high up. With the team press tactic, I would honestly say once your opponent sort of breaks your midfield line, turn it off, because otherwise you're just going to be drawing defenders out of position and you're going to concede goals. That is something to activate when someone's kind of keeping the ball deep in their own half and you want to try and steal the ball off them, or if they're being a bit of a loser and they're just trying to keep the ball and waste time, then it's a way for you to press them more in-game without having to pause and turn on one of the auto-press things like constant pressure. The last thing mechanic-wise I'm going to show you guys is the offside trap. This does not have to be used to try and play runners offside. It's a great way to push your defensive line and hold team shape up to pressure the opponent. Again, you have to be off of the ball to activate an offside trap, so let's just boot the ball back to the opposition. To do the offside trap, you're just pressing down on your D-pad and then down again. Unlike team press, this isn't like turning on, you're just doing it in that moment. So as soon as you've done the offside trap, it's off. You're not going to keep doing offside traps if you don't press anything else. So you're just pressing that down twice to activate an offside trap, and then from there it's off. You know, it's not something that stays on. So once again, down, down, push our line right up. Look at the press that did on the front line there. Just no way of them getting anywhere there. We'll do this once again. So as they try and work the ball up, we'll do an offside trap. Really try and keep them in their own half. Do one here to keep our line high. Do another one here. All of a sudden, all their options forward are literally past my defensive line and unplayable too. We'll do one more. So I'm trying to give them the ball back. It's actually harder than it looks. So, offside trap to push our line up. Another one. Cuts their runners off. And then we win the ball back. If you guys want to practice this in the same sort of scenario I have, just head over to the training center on the main menu, go over to the defending tab, and then just click this play match option here, and you can practice all of these different mechanics in a kind of lean environment where you haven't got to worry about an opponent destroying you while you're trying to practice. Next, we're going to jump into a live game. I'll just talk you guys through what I'm doing as I'm doing it for you guys to really, truly get a grasp of how to apply these in an online environment. Let's get into it. Yeah, here we go. Into the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. These custom tactics are on the channel if you guys want to check them out. Straight off the bat, this guy's trying to play very, very direct. Okay, so here, instantly I'm going to second man press to get that ball straight back. It's a nice shot. That's 1-0 right off of his kickoff here. Just going to second man press. There I actually went at him with the guy I was controlling and not letting the AI guy do it because I could just see that he took too heavy of a touch. So I knew I'd get the ball off of him there. We might get a nice little counter-attack goal off of that. Cut this back. Wow, we're 2 up already. Great start. Once again, I'm going to do the form of press here where we actually press the ball carrier and cut off his options. Now I'm just going to standard second man press. Just try and cut off that option to his winger, which we have done, which is fantastic. I'm so not going to score there. Second man pressing straight away. The AI did a great job there of cutting off his attacker, and instantly again just turned over possession. That's what this is all about. It's about just controlling the ball. The moment the opponent gets it, just stealing it back off them purely through that pressure. Just not letting them have a chance in the game. So we can work down the byline here. Cut this back. Get a cancel. And that is 3. Lots of pressure right off the bat, and I don't think this guy wants to stay for any more of it. I don't blame him, to be honest. We'll do one more just to show you guys how to utilise the team press and the offside traps a little bit more. Fantastically, we just got our upgrade on the Evo Pedraza as well, so now we're working on Huang He-chan. It's going to be an absolute grind, so it's nice to get a few games in for the video. Let's jump into it and show you guys how to utilise the offside and team press. Once again, using the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, I'm going to do an offside trap right off the bat here just to push my line up and nab the ball off of him. As you can see there, I wasn't trying to play him offside. It was just about pushing numbers towards the ball carrier to give him no space to work anything. Not sure what's happened there. I've got a free kick apparently. Let's see what we can work here. Drive this forward. Put that back. Work that inside. And that is 1-0. That's a fantastic start. So here I'm going to team press this time off of kickoff, just so you guys get a feel for that one. I wouldn't recommend team pressing off of kickoff, to be honest, because it's a little risky. Yeah, that's why you don't do that. So ignore me on that one. Got a little bit ambitious. We're going to use our partial team press there for the AI to cut off his options, which has worked absolutely fantastic. So we can work again down this left-hand side. I'll try to thread that through ball through. Okay, partial team press again. Cutting off the passing options. I'm going to back off here so he doesn't get that striker through. That is something that is quite important as well. It's important to know when not to press as well. That is a big part of it, because pressing is good up to a certain extent. It does get to a point where you do need to, like, not. Like, when you saw that position I was in there, pressing would have gotten me nowhere. It would have just left me exposed. So it is important to know when to start playing more passive. That's generally once they're right on your defensive line. See what we can work down this line here. Nice. Lovely goal. Croqueta cancel into the shot. That was really nice. Straight off the bat here, we're going to do an offside trap just to push our line forward. Not give him any obvious options. Annoyingly, Liao sort of jammed it back off of us there. So second man press just to cut him off again, not letting him get it down that wing. He's actually done the same thing there. You see how he pushed his line up so I couldn't turn into that space. Side trap again, just pushing the line up. Really trying to choke him into the... having to sort of go backwards. I'll be able to just run this, you know. Bang. There we go. And that is 3. So I'm going to do another offside trap here, off of kickoff. Again, just to push that line up. Nab the ball straight back off of him. I've just ran into his defender. That was a bit poor from me, to be honest. Work it down this line. Shot cancel. Shot cancel. They're very, very effective this year. Looks like this guy's just going to see it out, though, to be fair to him. I don't know, maybe he's thinking about it. Again, offside trap from kickoff. Nabs the ball straight back. So effective, guys, using the offside trap as a press. It's severely underused, but it's so, so effective. That was supposed to be a switch, but didn't have enough power on it, that one. See what we can work down the line here. Once again, I'm just going to drive this byline because he doesn't seem to mark the byline very well. That's another, I think. It is. Bit of a soft shot, but it has gone in. That's probably going to be a wrap on this game as well, I'd imagine. 5-0 in the first half is pretty rough. And it's getting super sunny in here, so excuse the bright light. Let's wrap this one up. To summarise, you want to use a defensive style of balanced, a depth between 50 and 70. Only go to 71 or higher if you want the automatic offside traps. Mechanic-wise, you need to use a mix of teammate contain, partial team press via the D-pad, and also offside traps to get the optimal manual press. That's everything from me today, guys. If you have any questions at all, please just put them in the comments down below and I'll get straight back to you guys. As always though, guys, if you did make it this far in the video, I really appreciate your time. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and turn your bell on. Take care, guys.